there are a couple things that are really important to the success of the therapy that we do here at the clinic. The first thing that is important is attendance. And so having access to the child is critical in order for us to be able to make the progress that we want, make the progress that parents want. I mean, if you think about this, if a child is coming into the clinic or being seen at a school once or twice a week for 30 minutes is 60 minutes. 60 minutes out of the week is less than 1%. It's actually 0.6% of the whole entire week. And so one of the most important pieces to the success of intervention is to have access to the child. If we're already just getting such a little bit of time, that 0.6% of the week, then we need to be consistent with that. We need to see kids as often as we can. Another thing that is important, so we've got attendance. It's important that parents think through that to figure out how they can prioritize that time. The second thing that is most important when we are thinking about the success of therapy with children is parent involvement. So, I talked about this 0.6%. Our team or your child's therapist is going to have access to the child probably at best maybe 1% of the time. If they're being seen 2 to 3 times a week for 30 minutes, it's a little bit under 1% of the time. So the therapist has that amount of time, and then we need parent involvement. We need parents to participate in the sessions when they can, to prioritize that time so that not only does the therapist have access to the child, which is critical for success, but also that we're getting pervasive implementation of the goals, not just in these little small windows throughout the week, but parents are becoming more and more familiar with what it is that we're trying to accomplish, how one thing is going to facilitate another thing, a better understanding of what it is. Therefore, they are then able to look for moments throughout the day to be able to reinforce what we're doing in the therapy sessions, to be able to implement what we're doing into the regular days, so that now, instead of therapy happening, again, 0.6% of the week, we're now getting that targeted, intentional implementation of tips and strategies and facilitating development across the entire week. We're now doing it during bath time or during homework. Maybe we're doing it when we're waiting at a restaurant or when we are on our way to carpool drop off, or however, wherever the moments are, when parents are able to come and participate in the clinic, then they are in the therapy sessions, then they're better prepared to be able to see those little moments throughout the day. It's not so much having a strict, okay, we're gonna work on therapy goals for an additional 30 minutes every afternoon. It's not like that. It's being able to recognize the moments across the day without creating a 25th hour in the day, to be able to spotlight something, create an opportunity for a certain type of thinking, problem solve through something with a child that is going to increase the likelihood that we are going to get in enough intentionality that we get the progress that we're looking for. So in line with this idea that attendance is really important and parent involvement is really important, at DTS we have some pretty strict guidelines around attendance and making up sessions. It is important that we are able to get as much access to children as possible. And so we need parents to prioritize that time, to make it up when at all possible, so that we are able to we need that full 0.6% in order to make progress. So to prioritize the time, to be able to look at the other things that are going on, look at other conflicts, identify an appointment time that is going to meet the other requirements of time and to be able to focus on that. In line with this attendance and having access to the child, having parents involved, the next piece of that can be extremely helpful is collaboration with the teachers. And that is one of the reasons why the therapists from our clinic here at DTS will see children at school. Eventually what we want is pervasive implementation. We want everyone having an idea of what it is that we're trying to accomplish, how we are intending to accomplish that, so that they can identify opportunities to slip in these moments for the goals to be targeted throughout the day. So again, we kind of go back to that whole thing of we need access, we need time. And when our therapy sessions are going to allow us a very small amount of time, that time is really meant to be intensive and intentional with the most level of skill involved there. And then we also want to take advantage of the other 99% of the week where we have parents who understand what it is that we're targeting, what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and can begin to see little moments throughout the day. Same thing with the teachers. As we know, for most children, parents and their teachers are going to have the most access. So we're going to have probably 33% of the week is going to be dedicated to sleep, hopefully. Parents are going to have kids for about 8 hours, and teachers are also going to have kids for about 8 hours when we get into school age. And so the way that we really get things going and start optimizing the momentum of intervention is we've got skilled, dedicated, intensive time. That's why we would be looking at 1, 2, even 3 times a week to really be intentional and intensive with the intervention with the person who has the most skill set. Then collaborating with teachers and other caregivers so that during their time with the child, they are able to utilize what they know and understand to support the child. And then even more importantly, that parents who ultimately have the most opportunity understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish, what the various things that are necessary in order for those skills to fall into place and for that development to fully integrate and fully be able to be optimized. And so when we've got this full team approach, the therapist has their access to the child. The parent understands what the goals are and are able to spotlight throughout the day. And now the teacher and other caregivers are also on board. Now we've got this really robust intervention team where we are really optimizing the pervasiveness of what it is that we're trying to do and ultimately ensuring the most success.